Hi, it's Sue from Createful Journals, and this is our March 23 monthly inspiration demo. And for this month, I have chosen to do the Nutrition Month template. So you'll see that we have 3 different layouts in here, and we'll go through each one and I'll give you some ideas of what we can do to change them and how to use them. So right off the top, we can just add these into any kind of health planner, weight loss planner, family menu type planner. So there's lots of different variations of things that we could put this into as well. And as usual, we go to the home button and the selection pane, which is under editing. Select, if you're not sure where to find it, selection pane here. And then you can see we've got all the different layers on here. So let's just hide them all. And then we always go from the bottom to the top. So the bottom is the one at the back. So here we have just a nice background. Again, you could use this as a cover page, a divider page. So you might just want to duplicate this template and have it, for that you could put note pages behind this. So if you were going to, maybe you're going to turn this into like a wellness, healthy kind of journal, as well as the meal planning and the tracker in there. So you could put some, put them behind here. So let's just have a fast look, then I'll give you some ideas. So this is just how we create it. So you've got a picture there, then we've got the text box at the top, and again, of course, you can just come up here and change fonts. I'll show you a quick way to change fonts afterwards as well. And then we've got the different pictures. So we've now coming into the shapes at the bottom here. So that's how we built everything up. Text box here. And then you just go through just to see how the page is built. I always like to just go look first at how the page is built, and then you can decide how you want to do it from here. And then we've got the text box at the top, and then we've just made the lines as tables. They're so much easier to add, delete, change them rather than trying to do individual lines and line everything up. So we just put all those in there. So that's what we have on this first page. So let's have a look at what we could do. So one of the first things we could do, like I said, we could hide everything. And then I'm going to put the picture back on. And then I'm actually going to duplicate this slide. I'm going to work on the second one now. So what we can do here is we can just go take one of these tables that we had from here, click on it, and we can just pull it over to make some lines without having to start from scratch. Use what you have and then just develop it from there. So then we can, if you want them wider apart, you can just pull them down there. If you want to just have more narrow lines, again, highlight some, do the right click, and then insert below, and you're going to get more lines on your page. So we just line them up and make them a tad wider. And then if you want to change the look of the lines, highlight the entire table, come to table design. Then you're going to come up here to the top where you see the lines. So now if we wanted the dashed line here, if you want to change the thickness just a little bit, and then you come over to borders and you want to do the inside borders, right? So you can see here that they've changed. Now we're going to click off. Now you'll see the top line and the bottom line didn't change because that is actually a border and it's the top and bottom border. So you come back here, make sure you've got your mouse at the line, then come back to the border and go top line, and now it's dashed, and do the same at the bottom. Put your mouse down there, come and find the bottom border, and now everything has changed. So now that's how you can easily make a note page in here. If you wanted to have 2 columns, then you would just go in half, then just do a Control D to duplicate it, move it over here and leave some space in between. You can see all the red lines help you space it, and now you've got a 2-page column. So you could have both if you wanted to. Again, just duplicate it, get rid of this one, and make this wider again. And then you've got the 2 different lines right there. So let's go back to the main page, and then let's just Let's just put everything back on in here. So we've got, this is just the weeks across. We've got 5 weeks to allow for that odd week in the month. So you've got the image here now. What you could do here is, if you didn't want the image, because if people are going to print this, maybe worried about using up all the ink. So what we could do for this one is just hide it. Like, I wouldn't delete anything from this, because you can always go back to the original, because you might decide, oh, I want that picture back later on. So I just come in here and I just hide everything here. All right, so now we've got a spot in here, and what we can do is, if we want the shape, so it's over here, rectangle rounded corners. So we can do that, and then we can just do a Control D, and we can just duplicate it. And then what we can do is we can just rotate it, and then we can bring it down here, and then we've got a notes page. And then I would just take the text box. Let's see. Okay, so that text is in there. So then you just come in here and you could just take out that text, and then you've just got a plain box for notes. And if you wanted to put an outline on it, you could do that too. So now we've got that page here, just to give it a little bit more room. People might want to make some notes, so you can do that here. And then if you didn't want all of this at the bottom, or this text, you could make that into, you could just, again, we could just hide all of these pieces at the bottom. And then we just make this bigger too. So then you could have a page like that with a note page on there. So again, you could duplicate this page right here, and then go back to this one. And we can just go back and do undo. Oops, we don't want to undo that. I want to keep that page there. So duplicate the slide. And then we can just come back here. And if we don't want that one anymore, we can either just delete it, or again, we can just hide that one from here too, and then put everything back on that we wanted. So we don't want that, we just hide that one up there. And so we're back to the original one here. And of course, you come in and change colors, the shape format, whichever colors that you like. So change the colors this way if you wanted to have more than one color, if you want to make them lighter. So to do that, you can just, if we do a right click, come to the, we want to format the shape. So if you format the shape, go to fill, and then we can come to, I've got to find it. I'm going to actually do the shape here. So this is what we want, the transparency. So instead of trying to find a lighter shade, you can just come to the transparency, and we can just make it more transparent. If you just want to have a little bit of color, again, if people are actually printing this, you might be concerned about ink and everything else. So then you'll see what you have for the transparency, so 35%, and then you can just go through here and change them all to 35%, and then they all match. So that's something that we could do there. And then I'm just going to duplicate this page. And then I'm just going to take off these lines. So then we have the cover page here. So we've got that page up here. We made this page with the notes. So you could have both pages. You know, you could have this one up here with all the layers showing. That, or we can just leave it like that. So you could do 2 pages, you could make the note pages, you could just, even if you wanted to make this a little shorter maybe and have the note box longer on this one. So you can do all kinds of things. This one I would just use as a nice divider page, cover page, and maybe you want to put back the one picture on here, so you could have something like that, add your text in there, maybe move this up to make a nice cover. Then you add your nice title on your page there, so you can do things like that for that one. And then, like I said, we've already got some dotted lines in here. We've got the journal page or note page, And now we've got the next slide, which is just a weekly meal planner. So it's just a basic planner, so Monday to Sunday, breakfast to other, to include anything extra here. So you might want to duplicate this one, and then I would start with the Sunday, because a lot of people like a Sunday start, some people like a Monday start, so that's something that you can offer to your customers too. You can have the 2 pages, just one starts on Sunday, one starts on Monday. And then too, if you wanted to lighten everything up, so what we could do here is you can come to picture format and just go to transparency, and again we can just make this very light in the background if you just want to have some image in there, just not so dark, again if you're worried for printing purposes. And then you can just click on any other shapes and just change those a little bit too. You can put gradients in if you wish. So that's what I would do in here. And then again, if you want to change all of this, just highlight the row that you want to change and come to shading, and then find your green. If you want more colors, you can come here and just, you can pick on the standard colors here or do a custom one if you know what the RGB code is, and then you can change everything in here. And again, you can play with transparency at the bottom as well, so that's another way that you can change the colors. And what else do we have on here? So again, if you just want to have a fast peek, you've got a nice background. So you've got, so again, we could make a nice just plain journal booklet to go with this. So again, make this into the background, come back here and just grab the pages here. Oh, doesn't want to, there we go, paste the lines in there. So now you've got some other pages as well that we can do. So there's something like that you can do. And then just come back and have a look at all the other elements. If you wanted that in the background, again, we could put a picture format. So there's different things here. If you wanted to change it to black and white, you can do that here. There's different percentages of the colors. And then if you really wanted it to make it transparent, again, we could come down and just have it very faded in the back. So that looks quite nice there. And the other thing that you can do to some elements is you can play with these artistic effects. So they just kind of gives you a little bit more of a paintbrush effect. There's some different ones here, mosaic bubbles. So there's different effects that, sometimes you can just come and play with those and you can get a nice different look on your page as well. So let's just duplicate that slide. So once you find a slide that you want to keep, you just duplicate it, and then we can come back over here and just add the elements. And now we've got this chart back on here. So then I would take that table out, and then you can see you can change the title, the colors, you've got the week up there, and then you've got the National Nutrition Month. You could put something else in there. Maybe you could put a quote, a motivational little quote in there, like eat more greens or something like that. I know the lady that the nutritionist, she's always telling me eat more greens. So that's what we can do with that layout. And then the last one here is your weekly health and wellness tracker. So this is, again, Monday to Sunday. So duplicate it, make a Sunday to Saturday copy. Then you've got the everything in here: breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, beverages, water, anything else that you want to track in here. Exercise, relaxation. You could change the exercise to steps maybe. What you did well, what you did wrong. So we can, even expand on this and have a nice journal page on the next page. That would be, what can I improve? Maybe a weekly review. So we could add a page like that and just do, even just a simple page. Let's just duplicate this. So we've got the background here. And again, we could just come back up and use what you have on the page. This way everything is going to be, if you do a lot of lines, if you copy everything, doesn't want to copy, then everything is going to be even throughout your planner. So we could just come in here. And we're just going to paste it in here. Oh, and I got a delay here. Okay, so then we've got the lines on this page. Then we can just add the title. And again, I would just go back, copy, a title heading that you like, and then bring that down here. And this would just be, my weekly review. Okay, I'm just going to hide the background so I can get to this piece. Okay, and for some reason it doesn't want to work, so I'm not quite sure why, if there's just a delay. So if not, we will come over here and we just insert our text. And we're just going to call this a weekly review. Okay, and we're just going to delete that one for now, and then put this back up here, and come and just find a color that you like. Let's just leave it the gray for now. And then you'd come in here and choose your font to match everything. So let's just leave that one for here. And then do this side. So you just go through, match everything. So you've got everything in here. And if you wanted to, put it on the angle like that, you can. So you've got the weekly review, and the instructions could pop on that page as well. And then we've got the background there. So you've got a page like that we can do, and that's the one that we did from this one here. You may even want to just split this up. So we could just have the diet piece on one page, the sleep, exercise, relaxation on another, and then the review part on another page. If there isn't enough room to write everything in these little boxes, you just might want to make all of that bigger. And again, we can just change it like that. Take out the box if you don't want the background. Then we've got all the images at the top, so we can just take those out or leave them in, change them. Again, you can use the picture format just to come up here, change colors. So you can get some different effects in here, and whichever you like to use there. And then the other thing I wanted to show you was an easy way to change your text. So say you want to change this text. So this is the Sego print, and you wanted to change it to something else. Now, we can do it in one go in PowerPoint. The only, when you change it, it's not going to keep headings as headings, and it's going to change the font. It doesn't change or doesn't keep the style. So you just want to keep that in mind. So if you change all the fonts, you still might have to go back and bold and change some things that you had before. But to do that, all you do is, we're on the home slide here, and we come to the replace function, and you'll notice that you hit the drop down, there's a replace, which will replace words. So if you wanted to change the word planner to journal, or kids planner or something, you would use that function. But this one, replace the font. So you can replace the print one, and then you can choose which one that you want it to change to. So we're just going to pick anything just to show you right now. Okay, I'll just pick this one. It doesn't allow you to change the style, so it's just the actual print. So you're going to go through, hit replace, and then it's going to replace everything. So now you can see at the top here, we've replaced everything in this document that had that one font has now changed. Right, so we can just scroll through, and you can see that everything in here changed for that particular font. So then if you just want to, we can change it back, or we just close this and go and do an undo, and then everything is back to where you started from. So there are some tips of how to change this planner. Let's just have a look here. We start off with 3 slides. I'll just get rid of all this for you, and we now have 10. Right, and we can still add more, so we can do more covers. So you could do a cover for the weekly meal planner. You could do a cover for the tracker in here, then the notes pages, the weekly review. You could even add in a measurements page, shopping list. You might want to put one of those in there. So just you can think of whatever would go with this, and then bundle it up, or you could sell these individually. So you could sell just the health and the weekly planner one here as one template. Then you could do this tracker here as another template, and then the health and wellness one as another template if you were going to sell them, say, on Etsy, and then you could bundle them up. So you could have like 2-page, just 2-page planners that you're selling, and then you could offer people the entire bundle of products, or you could just make this into a whole bundle. You can have a matching journal with just some of these decorations. So you could use some of the elements on here, so some of these graphics. So you could use some of those and just decorate the planner with that. So that's just some ideas of what you can do with this one. And the same will be for the other 4 templates in this package this month. So hope you enjoyed that. Hope this helped. And if you have any questions, please let me know.